Welcome back. If you just watched the Sweet 16, then we're picking up right where you left off. It's the Elite Eight, the Final Four, and the championship, all packed into one sardine can.
Let's definitely not in the same clothes.
Nope. We are wearing these clothes the whole month of April until the draft comes out. And then whoever had the closest NFL mock draft gets to change their clothes, and the rest of us have to wear it for the rest of the month. So
the rest of the year.
Yep, it's a good thing the draft is at the tail end of the month. So it's a stinky weekend, but that's it.
Thank goodness.
Woo!
Well, let's get it started, boys. I'm going to bring it. We're going to break it down. We got the Elite Eight. We're going to start with the Alabama alumni, Najee Harris, Jaylen Waddle, and I guess we don't really know. I don't know who's winning, so we're just going to talk it out and kick it over to you guys.
Yeah, it gets weird now because I don't know who's winning, but on this one, I have Najee Harris winning.
I agree.
Okay, so we can just talk about Jaylen Waddle. This is a guy that I have a trouble kind of quantifying my feelings on him. Like, I'm sitting at a 109 in our rookie draft, so there's a huge chance that I'm going to have to choose between him and Bateman, like whichever one gets to me.
It's tough.
So, obviously I'll just take Michael Carter and call it a good day. But I need to say something now that we're going to start talking about these Alabama guys. I have to insert a Najee footnote on Devonta Smith and on Jaylen Waddle. I think that his presence in that offense really kind of opened up the pass game. It was a kind of balanced attack that lended itself to dominating on one end rather than the other, and they just chose to dominate on both. So
that's fair.
So that's a little footnote, but as far as Waddle goes, he hit the ground running as a freshman. That was his highest statistical year. As far as receiving, he had 848 yards on 45 catches with 7 scores. He made a huge contribution in the receiving or the return game, and that kind of matured more going into his sophomore year. And you can't really watch anything that he did without just seeing the explosiveness in the return game. Mm-hmm. And for me, it looks like every time he catches a pass, he's returning a punt again. He's looking for the open space. He knows where to step to get free. It's just crazy. He just bumps out, and it's nuts. The catch rate is 79%. It's just really good. It's too bad about the injuries because I think if we had seen him at a pro day, we would have really been blown away.
Any of these Alabama guys should have been at a pro day. I'm not sure what the strategy was there, but anyway, keep talking.
Oh, you're good. One thing that really made me sad about the lack of a pro day for him is I'd like to know how long his arms are because he had a cradle catch thing where he couldn't extend to catch balls because he's a small guy.
Yeah.
And so it would have been nice to see that number. But he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
He's all right.
Oh, yeah.
It's just great. I mean, you've watched him play.
No, 100%. No, I'm absolutely with you, especially when you were talking about how, like, it's weird. Like, you feel it's hard to quantify, like, how you feel about him. One of the most confusing stats for me is he was a yards after the catch absolute nightmare. He averaged 10.1 yards after the catch. But he only broke 2 tackles last year. Mm-hmm. So what? Like what? So you're just averaging 10 yards after the catch without making anyone miss? Like it's confusing. Like he's a confusing guy to watch. Like
he has this move where like he gets the ball and then he like bumps one way and gets a guy to try to close on him.
Yeah.
But as soon as he bumps, he bounces. And he does it like when he's running routes, and he does it with the ball in his hand, and he makes guys miss without contact and repeatedly. And this is, I keep saying the SEC, it's not the only football league out there. But it is. Yeah, man, they're playing big ball. It's not little ball. It's incredible. I do want to say I keep talking about his moves, and we keep cutting you off, and we're
No, you're
burping.
good.
The beer is working. But the thing that I love the most about him is he knows the field and he knows who he's playing against, and he knows his own speed so well that he just picks a spot, and he knows if he can beat you to that spot that like you might as well
He's
just
gold.
go sit on the
Yeah.
bench because you're not gonna see him for the rest of that play.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I
No.
wish that he hadn't had the ankle injury,
Yeah, that does hurt him.
spicing it up.
And just one more thing, because obviously we're picking Harris over him. Just
Yep.
one more, like 6 out of 8 contested catches the past 2 years. So first of all, he didn't do it that often, but when he did, he was damn good at it. So it's like another one of those things. It's hard to judge. Like, oh, is he going to be good at that at the second level? Because he didn't have to do it that often, but he crushed it at the level he was at. And again, in the SEC, he's a weird guy. Love the guy. He's
Love
a top 3 wide receiver prospect, and top 3 or 4, and he just loses to Harris here. But no, he is a confusing guy, but a great guy to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one thing that you can really see his ability to break tackles and play physically through contact in the return game more so than in the passing game.
That's fair.
So he does display those attributes.
Just not in the receiving game.
yeah, it's like you're not going to touch
Because
him.
he's too fast.
Right.
Yeah.
There's not 11
Too
guys
furious.
trying to tackle him, so it's not going to happen.
He's just a confusing guy to watch,
So confusing.
and a lovely guy that's going to lose in this round.
For sure.
Definitely.
Flush him.
Let's move down to Kyle Pitts and Rashad Bateman. I'm going to kick it over to you guys. I think I know the answer.
I think you do too. I talked a lot about Rashad Bateman in the last round.
Yep.
So I will kick it to you to have any more thoughts that you would like. I mean,
He loses.
yeah, he loses, but Kyle
Yeah.
Pitts is the winner. But
But
what
if
do you
he
think?
if he was in the SEC,
You know what? If he was in the SEC, he would have had a quarterback that could have actually maximized his abilities, because I think that they left a lot on the field. He just didn't get the looks. They didn't come his way. Obviously, freaking Ibrahim, the running back up there in Minnesota, was outstanding. Plus, Tyler Johnson out-produced him in 2019. But they were different players. You got to look at 20 yards per catch average in 2019. Now, a lot of people can do that on 800 yards and 40 catches, but to do it for 60 catches and 1,200 plus yards, that's not a fluke. That's consistency and that's skill. We know how he does the footwork on the line. He puts in the extra mile at the catch point. So the way he starts the play, the way he runs his routes, the way he finishes the play, it's all just maximum. It's maximum. It really broke my heart. I had this guy probably as my number 2 wide receiver in the class until he clocked in at 6 foot 190. Like, what happened to that 20 pounds? Man, you're breaking my heart. But then I look at the film and he looks small. He doesn't look small, but he doesn't look like he's 6'1", 210. He doesn't look like freaking Amari Rodgers out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He looks skinny, but I think he's amazing. I'm excited, man. Between him and Waddle, I know we're about to get to that anyway. But I feel like that's what the 109 for me is, and I hate to just make it personal about my own draft, but I'm happy with whichever of those guys is available to me.
You should be. Both these guys are great prospects.
Absolutely. It's a little more clear with Rashad than it is with Waddle, but I feel like the ceiling is super high for both these guys, but the unknown like makes me want to flirt with Waddle a little bit.
yeah, I think something to
Jesus, sorry.
something to consider. I do believe that Rashad Bateman did lose that weight from when he caught COVID. So I think that has a lot to do with why he weighed in less than he did.
So you think he could get some?
I think maybe
Training in.
he'll build some mass back up. But I mean, he did lose 3 inches on his height.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to talk about it.
But I think everybody has. I think we already talked about this in a previous episode. Follow us on Spotify.
Yeah, I lost
YouTube,
3
all
inches
that.
on my height. Unfortunately, I'm 5'7" now. I don't know what the fuck to do.
Oof,
Oh, damn.
I keep getting taller.
Since we're getting down to the Elite Eight, why not talk about it? So let's discuss Jaylen Waddle versus Rashad Bateman. Who wins there?
I do have Waddle. It's tough though.
You got to factor in a full year younger on Rashad. I do want to say that if you look at the production, Rashad had 120 more targets in the same number of games. And then the production yardage wise was only 400 yards greater. So if you think about that, the catch number was 40 catches higher. So if you look at 400 yards on 40 catches, it's not unrealistic to think that if Waddle hadn't been playing on a team with Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs and a Heisman Trophy winner, that it would have been obvious that he wins this matchup.
Yeah.
Plus the injury. So.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And I think Rashad Bateman's kind of intruding on Waddle a little bit for me, and it's a little harder because of the route running ability. Not that Jaylen Waddle's a bad route runner, but I love route running. And again, Rashad Bateman is the best route runner in this class. Fight me. But
I agree.
But just the pure talent of Waddle has to show out here. Like, you can mold Waddle into somebody that could be a dominant force, whereas Rashad Bateman ceiling is a Keenan Allen type player who, don't get me wrong,
It's a high ceiling.
Yeah, I would love to have Keenan Allen on my team, but Waddle could be like that next tier. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where I put them. But honestly, it's one of those things where no matter, like, if we're looking at a draft and one of them goes before the other, I'll just go, fair. You know, like, it's not going to surprise me either way.
Yeah, it's a landing spot deal for sure.
Definitely. Well, cool. Yeah, we'll move it along. I think this is going to be interesting, and if you guys like this and like the content we're putting out, stick around, because what we do is this is going to be really fun, because once these players do get drafted, we can revisit all this, and we can tell you how much we hate GMs for drafting our talented players.
Eagles.
So... Damn, that was hilarious. I fucking hate the Eagles. So moving along to Devonta Smith and Javonte Williams. So this seems like an interesting. This is
Very
arguably number one receiver, arguably number one running back. I mean, obviously nothing's set in stone, but arguably keyword. So I'm gonna kick it over to you guys, and let's just say on three, on the count of three, say who wins this. 1, 2, 3.
Williams.
Oh!
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. Well, that's good.
As much as it's great, Devonta had this amazing season, 1,800 yards, 23 touchdowns, won the Heisman. His only real flaw is that he's thinner, but he showed that doesn't matter much. Also, sorry if you ever hear this. I'm sure you're sick of hearing about how thin you are. He had 11 contested... He had 11 contested catches, which was 7th in the NCAA. Was first in deep catches with 15, and first in screen catches with 35, and first in deep yards with 589. So he plays all over the field for you. I just think Devonta Williams is this different type of player at a more valuable position. You can find receivers that probably aren't as good as Devonta Smith, but will give you similar production, maybe a little less, whereas running backs are a little harder to find, in my opinion. And Javonte Williams is this crazy guy. His biggest stat was that he forced 76 missed tackles last season, which was first by a lot. It was PFF's most elusive season they've ever graded. Ever.
Beautiful.
Ever graded.
Yeah.
Like, he just broke every tackle that came up to him. And I'll take a running back that can do that over a receiver that should be good any day. A running back that can do that over a receiver that can do that any day.
Absolutely. What can you say? I think that the potential for Javonte Williams to go to a friendly landing spot is a lot higher than what's going to happen to Devonta Smith. Javonta. And
Don't you want that?
But as far as Smith goes, I mean, this guy's amazing. I want to say for sure, the production is unreal. Even as a freshman, he only had 8 catches, but he got 160 yards on those 8 catches. And obviously, I got to say this Najee Harris footnote, but sub footnote, Najee didn't win the Heisman Trophy.
Yep.
So I got to give it to him. Smith had 75% catch per target, so it's pretty amazing. And I have to say something right now, and I'm sorry. I have to STF you myself to
Shut the fondue.
I gotta stir the fondue. I need to shut my mouth, or open my mouth rather, on Mac Jones. I have not publicly said anything good about him, and I have openly found it ridiculous that people are saying that he'll be the 3rd overall pick ahead of some of those other quarterbacks. But now I'm looking at Waddle with a 79% catch rate and Smith with the 75%. Yeah, like that doesn't just happen, man.
Yeah.
Like this guy is obviously doing something right. He's making it happen for these guys. Footnote, Najee Harris. Anyway, but the technique for Devonta Smith is out of this world, man. He's the kind of guy, like, he will run past a guy and then run around him and get a catch and then take off. And the cornerback doesn't, like, you can see that he doesn't know. He doesn't know where Smith is on the field. And it's embarrassing. It's beautiful, though. He has a nice stutter step, and the guy knows how to find the little holes in the and just melt through the cracks in the defense, man. It's unreal. It's, you know, he won the Heisman, you know that, right? I mean, shit. Like, how much more can we say about this guy?
Yeah. First one since.
I don't know.
Don't come with that stat if you don't have it,
I was
man.
about to have it, man.
Come on.
Oh, fuck.
You got it. It's right there. Come on.
Desmond Howard, right?
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep, that sounds right.
It's 19.
Green Bay Packer.
But
Let's go.
19.
Super Bowl MVP.
but
Yeah.
he in 2019.
I'll edit it. It'll be more smooth than the edit. Thanks, AJ.
It'll be smoother.
Hey, man, we're not perfect. This is a rough draft research. But, you know, so he had the Heisman winning year. He had amazing production. But in 2019, he had 1,250 yards. And I know we're talking about Alabama a lot, but that was with Waddle, Ruggs, and Jerry Jeudy on the team. Now, that beat out Jerry Jeudy's yardage by 100 yards on fewer catches. And Ruggs is supposed to be the deep threat extraordinaire, but Smith's average was 18.5, whereas Ruggs had 18.7. So if you're looking at this, he outproduced Jeudy and nearly out-averaged Ruggs. And like I said, Waddle's still healthy last year, competing against these guys. So I think that it's a big deal, and I know that I keep saying this out loud, but I can't wait to see him carry Jared Goff to an MVP run. I think the Lions would be smart to grab this guy.
I don't think he'll be an MVP, but I think he could put him in the conversation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The MVP running.
But they're going to look at Goff and be like, yeah, but
I mean, maybe rookie
it
of the
should
year.
just be Smith.
Oh, yeah. Just Heisman into Rookie of the Year.
Like, let's not give it to Goff. Let's give it to Smith.
I'm pretty sure that trophy case is already at Trevor Lawrence's house.
Oh, gotcha.
So
I want to backtrack and
I'm
just
sorry on
say-
the fly. I fucked that up for the Lions.
Oh, it's okay. I didn't fuck it up. Fucking Desmond Howard was the last wide receiver.
Nice.
Okay. Great.
1991. Hashtag thank you NCAA football 2008 for letting me remind that. because that was the
Thank you,
cup.
Desmond Howard, for running that kickoff back in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Skadoosh.
Skadoosh. Did you just
Yeah,
just
I
fucking
kung fu
kung fu
panded
panded
you.
me?
Yeah,
Damn.
I did it.
Okay. We're having fun here. We have fun here at Rough Draft Research.
Yeah, it's all right.
So let's go down to Jamar Chase versus. Hey, fuck you, man. Let's move. What do you got to say?
I was just gonna say the double episode thing is getting me. You know, we get a little tipsy on the second episode, and it's starting to show.
As we should.
Absolutely.
A little tipsy, kind of like an Australian map. Just tips all the.
For fuck's sake, don't do
Okay.
that. Don't
Just
do
kidding.
that.
And hard edit. So let's move on to Jamar Chase and Travis Etienne.
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 Oh, we're gonna be in so much trouble. So yeah, I'm gonna kick it over to you guys. Let's do it.
Man, this one's so hard because you just watch Jamar Chase's pro day and you just go, talk about crushing your pro day.
Yeah.
I mean, a 4.39, that's adding the 0.05. A 41-inch vert, an 11 feet broad jump, a 3.99 on the shuttle, a little loose on the cone drill, 6.96, 23 on the bench. He had a burst score of 97 in the 97th percentile. He's just a freak athlete. Yeah. My only knock on Chase, a bit of a lazy route runner, which you would be when you're that talented.
It's like the popular
who
kid
cares?
at school,
You can just blow everybody out of the water. He had 1,700 yards, 84 catches, and 20 touchdowns in 2019. Now, a lot of people want to say that was when Joe Burrow was throwing to him, and he's throwing him those dimes, and he was. But, I mean, this dude is just an electric athlete, and he's my number one receiver off the board. I don't know about anybody else, but he is. And then you go to this running back who's going to be the top running back off the board. And if you've watched any of these episodes, you know how I rate those positions. Running back's more important. I just wanted to stress how crazy Jamar Chase is. And he could end up being like Odell Beckham when he showed up and just crushed the league for 3 years. Who knows? That's all I got to say on it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I was going to say. One thing I'd like to see is a 2-year sample size out of a wide receiver going into the league. And like you're saying, you can't really find any holes in this game. We probably could, but we don't really have the financial resources. So we're going to leave that alone. But he doesn't have great execution when he knows the ball's not coming his way.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad. Because you see some of these smaller school guys or just like guys that don't have the raw talent.
So hard.
Yeah. And then you see this guy's like, you know what? When the ball is coming my way, you're going to see something that you can't do. But but I'll just be here. Yep. Like you might as well only put him in. He should be a third down back type. Like only put him in when the ball's going his way. And it won't matter because his skills are so rare.
Yeah.
Man, that athleticism is so high end. And I think he could give Rashad Bateman kind of a run for his money as far as that best route runner when he's ready to play. If he goes to the NFL and
I guess consistency would be the issue there.
Right,
Rashad's are always perfect.
Right,
and then his are like
and then compare highlight reels, it might be close, right? Yeah. But if you compare just non pass plays, even.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
It kind of leads me into a question. Is Jamar Chase going to end up being one of these guys that is so talented, but he doesn't really care that much
John
about
Ross?
the game?
You talking about John Ross?
Are you talking about Anthony Miller?
Isaiah Wilson?
Who?
Isaiah Wilson. First round pick last year of the Titans. Super good. And then just hasn't cared enough to play. Yeah. Is that a fear of anybody with Chase? I don't think it is, but
I think that he was not. I used to think he was lazy, and then I watched more and I saw his pro day and I listened to his interview after his pro day. I don't think he was lazy. I think he was bored. And I think when the challenge is there, that he's going to step up. Like, that's what he's been waiting for. That's why he didn't play football this year.
So we do put him in front of Etienne after that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm confused.
Man,
I feel like you guys are talking so much about Jamar Chase. It's got to be Etienne, right?
I think if you look at the bracket right now with Najee Harris, Kyle Pitts, the Devonta Smith, Javonte Williams, Jamar Chase, Travis Etienne, any of those three could have been. Any of those could have been the championship.
No, I
Waddle
agree with you. I do think it's Etienne, but I'm with you. Chase's just raw talent is unprecedented. It's stupid. You go look, we've showed you the player profiler, and it's got those little those little bar graphs where it's showing everybody. His are like, boom, like all at the top, like every single one of his
percentile burst.
It's 97th percentile. I don't even care that much about burst with wide receivers.
Top 90 on vert, broad jump, bench press,
Wait.
40 short shuttle.
Just everything.
Are we talking about Josh Immature Bebe all of a sudden?
No, we're talking about a guy that has actually produced.
And he hits that 200-pound mark now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could be, with his build, he could be the best running back in this class too, man.
Damn.
I hate
So
this because
it's-
now I'm like, shit. No.
I've thought so hard about putting him above Etienne.
It
It
makes sense.
literally comes down to positional value to me. And yes, Jamar Chase, in my opinion, is the best receiver in this class. And I don't think it's that close.
It is not even a thing.
Yeah. But if I have the number one pick, am I taking a running back or a wide receiver? I'm almost 95% of the time I'm taking a running back, and this would be one of those times. That's just me.
If I had the number one pick and I didn't want Travis Etienne, I would be talking a lot to the guy with the number 2 pick.
Yep, to trade down.
Yep.
And yeah, as much as I love Chase, he is going to change somebody's roster. I need that running back. I need it in my blood. I think Chase beats a lot of the other people on this bracket.
I gotta call
So-
Ian,
but-
man. Are we gonna do that 1, 2, 3 thing again, or
Oh, damn.
or?
All right.
I keep. This is another one I keep bouncing back and forth on. Actually,
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I personally, I picked Pitts to win this.
yeah. Mm-hmm. I might go with you.
Okay,
Let's
that
do
makes
it.
easy, man.
Let's send Pitts.
I like it.
Like let's send Pitts.
Pitts.
So the reason I want to do this, I'll talk about why. Najee Harris. First of all, he's 23 years old. That's a little old for a rookie running back. It's not a huge concern, but he's in that 230-pound class of running backs, which is not the top 3 class of weight that I like for my running backs. The only 2 that have made the top 24 that have stood out and been consistent are Le'Veon Bell and Saquon Barkley. Maybe Najee Harris can be one of those guys. Maybe.
How big
Maybe.
are the quads?
But maybe he can't. And here's some of the reasons that I think maybe he can't. Only 25 times in his entire college career did he carry the ball for more than 20 yards.
Oof.
I don't like that. That's not explosive for a running back.
Yep.
That's a huge thing for me. He is Mr. Consistent. He reminds me so much of Matt Forte. And I love Matt Forte.
Who didn't like Matt?
Exactly. But was he like the guy you wanted at the top of your draft? No, he was the guy you took at the second half of the first round, which is kind of where I see Najee Harris being, where I see, I mean, obviously as a tight end Pitts, but in a dynasty league, you want Pitts to be that X factor. Those are just my concerns. And here are the positives for him. He had 821 yards after contact last year, which is second in the league, which is crazy. But also, he had one of the best offensive lines in the league, so he wasn't even dealing with that much contact because he could shrug off one guy. He's not a home run threat. I don't know. Like, I want the tight end that could put you over. You have a consistent roster, and then you have that X factor tight end over a guy that's going to get you 15 points a game, sometimes 20. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Najee Harris screams consistency, but not top-end talent to me. Well, excuse me. Top-end talent for sure. Fantasy top-end ratings.
Yeah, upside,
I don't
yeah.
see that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like obviously we're at the Final Four, so we're basically both just going to unload
Yeah.
on So I agree with you. I'm definitely taking Pitts over Harris, and it's incredible what Harris was able to do. And I think, that the respect paid to Harris opened up the whole
As it
offense.
should.
And I think that can transition to the next level. I want to talk about what you said about his breakaway speed and everything there. And for me, what I saw was that I like the way that he keeps his shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage and lets his legs kind of switch direction and work independently of his upper body. It allows him to square up for contact that he can run through easily. It gave him the ability to make directional changes on the fly. He has like a little hop move that really helps him juke, I guess. But the thing that I don't like about him is that he takes too long to make those adjustments, and it allows the defense to close in on him. And that's why he wasn't getting those breakaway touchdowns. You know, the amount of yardage that he left on the field because he wasn't fast enough to outrun those guys, or he wasn't quick enough in his adjustments. It's going to affect him
That's
at the
huge.
NFL level.
Especially at his size at 230.
Yeah.
And 6'1". That's
He's
tall, too.
Big, yeah. He's not
a big
slippery.
guy. No.
He has to force his way through. But there is something that I have to talk about. It's the tape in the 2019 LSU game where it's pretty much just Patrick Queen versus Najee Harris. And we all know Patrick Queen is a pretty fucking talented guy.
Well,
Don't forget
he
Kylan
was coming
Hill.
into the draft, but he was like the second worst rated linebacker last year
And
in the NFL. Anyway,
yeah,
move on.
But he was pretty good in college.
Sure.
Let's not argue that.
That's fair.
And he looked good against Najee. No, I mean, you're right. And he did wear number 8 in college, so we don't have to talk about the number thing anymore. But Najee put up 190 combined rushing receiving yards in that game and 2 touchdowns. So I know that Patrick Queen didn't translate immediately in his rookie season.
That's fair. He
But
still has time.
He's a very talented collegiate running back, and Najee just kind of embarrassed
Linebacker.
him.
Yeah, just made him look silly.
Exactly. But yeah, man. Gosh.
That's fair, but Najee doesn't scream this like ultimate potential guy in fantasy to me, and that's what I'm terrified of. Like, why wouldn't I just take the next Travis Kelce, George Kittle type
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
over him?
yeah.
Like another
100%.
running back who's gonna be great for you. I mean, also this depends on who you have on your roster. If you
Team,
don't have
yeah.
any running backs,
Yeah, team-
absolutely take Najee Harris.
Team
but
needs, and if you need consistency, like there
go
you go.
for it. But if you're pretty solid at running back, don't just jump on him because he is a running back. Like Pitts could give you that X factor to be a great team. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry if I stepped on you at all.
Oh, you
but,
did not,
okay,
dude.
cool.
Yeah, we're saying the same things, you know, like obviously what Harris did is on paper and it's incredible, and the passing game work is outstanding.
I mean, if you start for Alabama, like you're pretty good.
Probably going to be good.
For sure. And I do think that he will be effective in the NFL.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
But he's Kyle Pitts. I mean, he says like we're gonna be talking about Kyle Pitts for the next freaking like he'll be the the Tony Gonzalez of his generation or whatever, the guy that you're just talking about for forever.
Well, and I was gonna say like at the beginning when you're just like he is 23, but he just had to wait his time. Josh Jacobs, Damian Harris. That's who you're gonna get out of Alabama.
That's fair.
You're gonna get the stud or the guy that waited.
They just get everyone.
The guy that would have started anywhere else his freshman year.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's move to the other side with other running backs: Javonte Williams, North Carolina, and Travis Etienne from Clemson. So let's get after it, boys.
Okay, this is very, very difficult.
Yeah, these are my top 2 on my rankings. I have Etienne first and Javonte Williams second. Obviously, that shows who I'm going to pick. It's close though. Like I won't blame anyone. Like if in our draft, if Javonte Williams goes number 1 overall, I'd be like, fair.
Good for that.
I get it. My thing, he's a little slower. He doesn't have the athleticism of Etienne. But again, like we already talked about it, we went into the force missed tackle 76 in a year is just stupid. He provides a little bit in the receiving game, but he did drop the ball 3 times out of 27 catchable passes, which isn't a great, ratio, but it's not terrible either. So, but he does give you that all around great, just running back threat. 1,100 yards, 22 touchdowns. He's just a guy that I love a lot. He's a great size too. He fits into the same size with Alvin Kamara, Marshawn Lynch, those type of guys. But Travis Etienne has a little more size to him, a little more athleticism. He's a little bit faster. He's just got a little bit more of all these things that I want that Javonte Williams also has, but he's just a little bit better at all of them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, oh gosh, I mean, I don't want to.
It's tough.
It's so obviously I've got Etienne advancing here as well, but when you talk about, I don't know if we're going to talk about Travis Etienne. I mean, I know we will in 2 minutes, but for now, I think I kind of think Javonte Williams is a more well-rounded prospect, and he is a year younger. He doesn't have the passing game work like Etienne, so he loses out there. But the builds are nearly identical. Mm-hmm. The burst score is higher for Williams.
Barely, but yeah.
Yep. So you got to look at those kind of things when you start nitpicking. And Travis Etienne is just, he put up almost 5,000 rushing yards in college. Like he didn't have to share the field with anyone because he wouldn't let anyone else be on the field because he's incredible. So I'll just get into my take on Williams, I guess, because he's losing out here.
Well, I will say one more thing. This doesn't change my opinion about Etienne at all. But his production did fall. He posted back-to-back 1,600-yard seasons, and then as soon as some of those offensive linemen left, it dropped to 914 yards in 12 games. Still not a full season. He probably would have put 1,000 yards up, but that's still like a 500-yard drop once his offensive lineman left. That said, I still like him more, but that was just another knock on him
Travis?
before. Yeah, Travis Etienne. Before we get into Javonte Williams and take it.
Okay, yeah, actually, I've got some specs on what you're just discussing, and I guess we'll get into it.
Okay, well, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you're all good. I just
stepping on you.
Basically, I'm 100% in agreement with you. His production went down 25% last year, but one thing that you have to consider is that he was still a top 20 running back, and he was a top number 1 receiving running back.
Yeah.
So. I think that's fine. He advanced in his receiving game in a big way. So I'll take the step back in rushing production. And if you think about the makeup of that team, it's just kind of weird. The slot guys that were running back size, and it was almost like a weird passing game of just 5'10", 210-pound guys, and he fit right into that last year. And it worked out. It worked out pretty well for him. But anyway, talk about Javonte. Gosh, I think it's pretty awesome that him and Carter combined for about 5,000 rushing yards.
That's insane.
Over a 3-year period. And his claim to fame is that goal line, man. He had 19 rushing touchdowns on 157 carries in 2020. That's incredible. That's almost a touchdown every 8 carries. Man, it's just amazing. And he matched Carter's numbers in the receiving game as well. So he's got a really dynamic play style. He's a 3-down back. I really do think he's more well-rounded as far as versatility than Travis Etienne, but he is not as dynamic, as explosive as a playmaker, I guess, is where he edges them out. But yeah, I just think he's amazing. I don't know. The way he runs is like fearless. I've seen so many plays where he sees the guy and the guy's either off balance or he knows he's out of position and he doesn't even adjust. He just runs. He doesn't care if you're in the way. He'll just bulldoze you.
Run you over.
And it's incredible. You don't see that out of the rest of these guys. You see, they're agile, they move, they're swift guys. No, Javonte Williams is a power running back, and he runs downhill, and you're not going to take him off the game. You're not going to take him off balance. He's going to run right through you, and he doesn't view you. If you're not wearing the same colored jersey as him, you might as well not be on the field because you're not a threat. He's just running through you, man. It's incredible. Yeah, I mean, that's all I got to say. He doesn't have the speed that he needs to be super elite, and that's what's holding him back from being – number one.
Well, going into what you're talking about with him not having that extra stuff that Etienne has, but he has the polish. I could see in the rookie draft, Javonte Williams doing better than Etienne this year.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I would honestly put money on it that Javonte Williams comes out and is a better running back than Etienne is in their rookie year. But I think overall, Etienne has the talent. You just polish him a little bit and then go. And I've talked about polish a lot with people over this whole tournament. But I think all Etienne needs is that just tiny little bit of polish. And then he can go, which I don't think you can mess that up as much as you could other guys that need a lot. So I think Etienne overall will be the better running back, but Javonte Williams could be better for you. So if you want to win this league right now and you need a rookie runner, go Javonte. But if you need a guy that's going to be your guy for 10 years, Etienne. Not that Javonte won't, but that was just kind of my last thoughts on it.
Travis Etienne, like you're saying, he has a play style that is more Aaron Jones, more Alvin Kamara, more longevity, high level production, especially in PPR. And he's going to be that fantasy asset where, Javonte Williams could be Josh Jacobs, or something in that vein where, he's a hell of a football player, but he's missing what a team really needs out of the position. So he's not going to get all the work that he possibly could. Whereas Travis Etienne is going to be on the field. He's going to be winning games for his football team.
Yeah.
And he's going to build a pedigree and become the guy. He's going to be unstoppable.
100. Yep. I'm with you.
All right. There we go. All right. Well, here we are. The championship game.
Well, you got to be weird, dude. Najee or Javonte Williams?
Williams.
Oh, it's clear, Javonte. Come on. I was listening to the conversation.
Oh, shit.
Why do you think I avoided it? Come on. I caught on after,
I know, this
couple
guy's a
weeks.
professional.
Jesus. What is this, Easter? So we're on to the championship game. Kyle Pitts, Travis Etienne.
Why don't we just say our takes on both these guys and then decide instead of throwing out the winner at this stage? Because we're about to talk about both these guys.
Yeah.
So jump in with whoever you want, man.
I'll jump in with Kyle Pitts. I mean, everybody knows he's a freak in nature. 6'6", 245, a 33-inch vert, a 10-foot 9-inch broad jump, 22 on the bench, 79 percentile burst score, and an 83-inch wingspan. He's just a freak of nature. He's way too big to be that fast. His catch radius is ridiculous. He's going to be the next Kelsey or Kittle for your team, which those guys, speaking as a Kelsey owner, it helps. You get that guy that can put up receiver numbers in that tight end spot, and then you can fill out the roster around him. There's no flaw in his game. I mean, unless you want to talk about blocking, but no one's going to use him that way anyway. You could use him as a wide receiver, and it would be exactly the same way. He was beating corners and man-to-man. He's tearing up linebackers in zone. He's just crushing it. He played 8 games and had 12 touchdowns last year. 12 touchdowns in 8 games. It's just insane. He's going to be that next tight end. That said, tight ends don't mean that much as running backs to me.
I don't know. As a Darren Waller owner, I think that this guy is that borderline, more of a wide receiver that could be asked to play tight end, similar to Waller, same kind of size and whatnot. He is a little skinny as far as a 6'6" guy that's 240.
He's a little smaller, yeah,
for sure.
Ain't Tutu Atwell, so we're good.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's 2 So I don't know if I made that joke before already.
You did.
But no, man, everything you said is perfect with him. I was saying, like, we all remember where we were when the Kyle Pitts freaking pro day numbers came through.
How's that work?
Yeah, we were all at work at like 1 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Where were you?
but you already touched on this last year. It's just under 100 yards per game, a touchdown and a half per game, 65% catch rate. It's all so damn good. But the thing with this guy is he's either outrunning someone when his zone coverage or like a double team, or he's out bodying someone on a man-to-man. Even if the coverage is perfect, it doesn't matter. He's 6.5 foot tall. He's got the wingspan, and he's smart. He knows where the ball's supposed to be, and he plays in a way to where he can adjust and make the play at the catch point. So it's just like it's a perfect combination of all those things. And I know, I mean, we talk about Kelsey and we talk about Waller, but I mean, some people are talking about Calvin Johnson,
Yeah.
So I mean, you see it in the play, and and I think that one thing about him, and we talked about Jamar Chase a little while ago, is he's not purely relying on that athleticism and talent. He's really displaying his work ethic on every play, and that's going to set him apart. I like I said, I will be talking about this guy for decades, I think, honestly. He runs clean routes. He's aggressive. His footwork's good. He catches everything that comes to him. So I don't know if you want to. We can just jump into Etienne or
well,
if you got anything on
this was
Pitts.
my thing against the two of them, and I am obviously I already talked about Pitts in a very similar light, but honestly, he's got 1 year of production, of top tier production. Etienne, before 2020, had 2 years where he had 1,600 yards.
Yeah.
And he still did well in 2020. Like, he fell back a little bit, but they also played less games. And, man, I just love Etienne. Both these guys I would love to have, obviously. But Etienne is the perfect size for an NFL runner. At 215, he ran a 4.5. Remember, if you watched the last episode, me talking about Trey Sermon, he was right in that same size, but he ran too slow.
Yep.
Etienne ran faster than a lot of the guys that I named ran faster than Trey Sermon, Like, he's right in there. He's a burst scorer of the 64th percentile, so he's not in that perfect 70
not
that
as
I
good
love.
as Trey Sermon.
That's fair. But it's still pretty good, and he gives you the receiving talent. So he's really that guy that you want, because these days, let's be real, you don't want just a runner that only runs. You want a guy who can catch the ball and runs everywhere. Maybe the exception is Nick Chubb, and who knows, Nick Chubb might die down in a few years when he loses some speed. We'll get into that later. But I love the guy, and when I'm comparing tight end to running back, it's not close. Like, I need a running back. Everyone needs 2 to 3 running backs that they can just go in and be like, I'm going to start these 3 guys, and it's going to be fine. And Etienne, to me, is one of those guys.
For sure. I mean, he wins the whole bracket.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's Etienne.
Okay.
Oh, we're going Etienne? Okay.
And
It's
Yeah.
close. Kyle Pitts is great.
Yeah, he's good enough to beat out Najee, Waddle, Trey Sermon.
He's
Maybe
the
he had a
only
pretty
tight end
easy-
that could have made it this far.
for sure. I mean, he's incredible, I think. But
Yeah.
to talk about Etienne a little bit, obviously, you've touched on a lot of his pros. I see a little bit of a con as far as he didn't really run inside as much as I would have liked.
That's
And
fair.
I think
I
that.
actually have that too.
Okay, perfect.
Another guy that likes to bounce outside too much. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, he's looking for those home runs every time. I mean, we've seen plenty of success with players like that, Saquon. But I think that his balance through contact is amazing, though. Even though he's not running up the middle, he can take a hit. He stays upright, and he keeps moving. And he's quick. He's very, very quick. And, man, the way he does the passing game, the way he just kind of wiggles through everything and then stays up through contact, you see it in the stats, like you're saying, 1,600-plus yard game seasons. It's amazing. And I don't know, like, should I be sad or not sad? He went back for his senior year, and I had my heart set on, last year I had the 102, and my heart was set on drafting him at the 102.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? He's going back to school. And then I got Jonathan Taylor, so I'm like, am I happy? Or, like, which one of these players am I more...
That's tough.
So thank you, Travis Etienne, because I love me some Jonathan Taylor, but damn, it would have been sweet either way.
Nice.
I think we just all say our blessings that you didn't get Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Oh my
Call it a day. Who went first overall? So
I was ready to trade back if Jonathan Taylor had gone 101 for sure.
well, awesome guys. So Travis Etienne with the win. I actually thought it was going to go Kyle Pitts.
Travis had to
it was
win.
close. And to win. So hey, once again, to wrap it up, go back, watch round of 64 all the way up, leave some comments, like, subscribe, do all the things. Morton Salt, we're looking at you for a sponsor.
Let's go.
But yeah, once again, guys, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcast, obviously YouTube if you're watching this. If you're listening, you can go there and see our beautiful faces. Just type in Rough Draft Research. Want to thank Player Profiler, because I feel like we always have to.
Always. Yeah, have to.
And hashtag Burst Score. And we're going to say thanks to the Sluts, because they do our intro and outro music that I haven't really asked for permission for. So,
Yeah, thanks, Ryan.
Wait, is that a band or just sluts in general?
hey, look at the wall.
Just all the
Yeah.
sluts?
Thanks to AJ. I don't think he had butchered any names this episode.
No, I didn't. I just kept asking you rankings 1 through 3, and I apologize. I'll never do it again. Fuck me, right? All right, Rough Draft Research, guys. Hey, wait, did you guys hear about that team in Washington?
Oh, yeah.
We'll figure it out. All right, guys, thanks.
Peace out.